Hey Pottery peeps! Today I am going to show you how I make these adorable, easy Christmas trees. I also am going to show you how to make this one as a luminary. So, before I get started though, I want to address two things. I'm doing this at night, sun just set. It is what it is, trying to get everything done in a day. But hopefully the lighting isn't going to be too bad with shadows and so forth. I also second, on the kiln opening that I just did, was it Tuesday? I think so. I put in there the spirit totem test, and it was super fun. Those of you who took the test and then put in what your spirit animal was, bears are winning. Turtles are next. So I think it's super, super cool to see all the different people coming in that have taken the test, and that what they say about, hold please, still on baby watch, hold on. All right, I'm back. Baby's fine, nothing going on yet. We are 9 days from her due date. So, all right. We're getting, at least he's not super early like the last one. Okay, let's get back. I don't even know where I was. It's really, 'tis the season, right? So I've already rolled out and cut my clay. This is the cookie cutters that I am working from. If I can find, I've had them a long time, you guys, and in fact, in the kiln opening, a lot of you have asked where I got the silk screens. I have no clue, and I don't have time to go chase them down. Most places I get them from Easy Screen Print. I will put their link in. I get a lot of stuff from them. They're actually here in Utah, in St. George. And then I get stuff random places, Amazon, Temu, just random when I see them, and if I like them, I get them. I got way too many, and I've had so many of them for so long because when I was down with the surgeries on my knees and then of course the car accident, I shopped. So I have no clue where I got a lot of those, and since I'm in crush mode, I don't have time to go chase them down. So if you can, take a screenshot of the video, put it into the Google search with the camera, and I bet you that'll find it for you. Okay. All right. I think I can find these. If I can, I'll link it. The other one I'm using is this. I found it at Target the other day, and I rarely shop at Target, but I had to go in there for something. And they were like $3. So I got this one. This is where it got me onto making these actually, and then I wanted them in different sizes, which is where this cookie cutter set came in. So I've already rolled out. I rolled it out. They're about a little less than 1/4 of an inch by the time I rolled in texture. I would just roll in your favorite texture for these. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the little one first. The bigger one is a little bit more challenging because it's more clay, more weight. I do suggest if you try to do the bigger one that you let the clay stiffen up. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a frustrating exercise. But these little ones I could do right out of the bag, and they go together pretty fast. And I do think those of you who do workshops or teach, this is a fun, you could even do it with older kids, maybe not toddler or younger ones, but older ones definitely could do something like this. Okay, so let me lower you down and we'll get started. Okay, the first thing I do is smush the clay, of course. So I turn it, oh, actually that is not the first thing I do. This cookie cutter, oh, I'm sorry guys, I am gonna get shadows. I'll see if I can lighten it up in post. But yeah, it is what it is today. I cut off the trunk. So that's the first thing I do. No trunks on these guys. So I just follow that line and cut those off. I turn them over, and then I score the sides. And I'm just dipping my scoring tool into the water, and I'm scoring the sides. I'm also scoring about 1/2 inch in on the bottom. And I am just going to do all of them. This clay is fresh out of the bag, so I'm not going to worry about slip. I'm just going to create my own slip on the little cookie. And then let me see if I can't turn this towards you so you can see how I'm putting it together. The big one's done the same way. The big one is just more challenging because of the size. All right, that looks good. So I pick one, and that's my base, okay? And I want to come in, let's see if I can do this. I want to come in and I want to line up, I gotta put my glasses on. Where'd they go? I tell you, this is the worst thing about, I think, getting old is the whole bifocal situation. So I am putting them together, lining them up, and pushing them down. See if I can do this upside down. And I'm going to open that up, and we will grab this one. I'm not going to worry about the top, but I'm going to line up the sides of the cookie cutter, push them down. Going to line these guys up and push them, and then I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to pinch, and I'm actually pretty aggressively pinching, kind of at a 45, if you can see. So I'm going to pinch all the way up, and then by doing that, it brings that top together. So pinch all the way down. So these can go really fast, and then I'll pinch the bottoms together here. But there is one thing, I mean, this is cute just on its own, just pinch like this. But I like a fatter tree, so I'll show you how I do that in a second. Okay, so then I'm going to take my red rib. I do some of my smoothing now. I will hit them again once they're more leather hard and I can handle them without hurting them. But I want to get that slip that I created off and smooth that seam. So I will come in with the metal rib and do this really quick. And I am working really fast. I have been having class pretty much 6 days a week, morning and night right now. And I have got students coming to glaze tonight because we finished the bisque kiln. And so I will also come in with my finger. 'Tis the season, right? When it comes to, we're Sam as Zilch right now. We are all just on crunch mode. Everybody's got shows. Everybody's got to get things done. And we pretty much, this is the last week of serious making, I think. I think I have another week I can do before my show. But Kate and Savannah start their shows right after Thanksgiving, so they're in crunch mode, serious crunch mode. All right, so I clean that up, and I will take my finger underneath and hit that and just smooth it. Make sure, and this is also, if it's too wet, it's a frustrating exercise to keep going over it. Just give it some time to stiffen up, and then you'll have, it's less time to clean up when your clay is a little stiffer. All right, now this is where it made the difference for me. Those of you who've been with me a while know that it's called a pixel. It's also a cannoli maker. I will link this. I got it on Amazon. I use it a lot. Let me actually wash my hands off. Okay, and so carefully lift this up, and I am going to push this in all the way to the top. It's going to hang like in the middle, and then I am going to push it around this pixel or pizzle or cannoli maker. And I'm going to do it on all 3 sides. Just kind of gives me some more shape to my tree that I really, really like. So, and by pushing it up and around, gives that clay that memory that I want it to stay that way. I don't worry about the inside. I will address that once it stiffens up some more. And then I will set it down and look at it from the top. See if I can show you. Look at it from the top just to make sure that my little flares here are somewhat even and it's standing even. And then once that, I set it aside. So let's move on to the one that's a little bit more challenging. It's done the exact same way. I let these guys stiffen up. But I do know that I had problems, probably because I didn't let my clay stiffen up enough. Goes off. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to line up my sides first, push down, and you don't have to use these cookie cutters. Any shape you've got, any type of tree cookie cutter will work. It's just the shape. It doesn't have to be the same ones. All right, so let's open this up. I'm going to kind of bend it back carefully and then bring this one in. You should have seen me. I did another one with 6, and I'll show you that tree. I've got it sitting out here. I think it's 6. It's either 6 or 5. I think maybe it's 5. That was challenging. All right, so same thing. We're going to pinch those together. You can see the difference in the smaller ones. So the smaller ones I made quite a few of because I know that they'll probably sell really easy, and I just plan to dip these. Probably in Holly Green or Tim's Dark Celadon. I might dip the white or the top in white and let it do its thing. Okay, so I did not put those together yet, so I'll go ahead and pinch. I'm going to pinch all the way around, right on the edge. If you can see, there is something different that I do to this one that I didn't do to the small one, which helped, I think. Because these seams are going to be a little trickier. I'm already off on this one. If you get off, don't worry about it. Just make the best of it. But I did make a luminary on this one. So after it stiffened up a little bit, I poked holes in it so that I could put either a candle or some fairy lights or something under it. And then I'm just gonna, I could bring in that red rib, but my fingers are here. So I just want to make sure that those seams are together. Okay. But this is I don't know, I just think it's a really fun tree. And you don't need a lot of supplies to do this. You don't even need that pizzle or cannoli tool. Just go find yourself a dowel or a big brush or something round, you know, would work. Or you could even just do it with your fingers. So You could just push it out around your fingers. Like I've always said, your fingers are your best tools. Okay, so I've got that pretty much together, and I am going to do the same thing. Go ahead and just kind of clean these up just a little bit, get some of that goopy slip off so it can dry out for the next thing after I do the pushing out, my next thing, because I don't want it wet for that. Okay, so carefully pick it up. And I might as well do these connections. So these ones are probably connected by about 1 inch because it's a bigger tree. Okay, so actually, I don't know if I actually used that tool. Made it the other night and it was late. I might need it to stiffen up some. I think I actually just went in. See, this is, with it being bigger, I think I just went in with my finger and pulled it down. Okay, so carefully grab a side, pull it out, push your finger in there, you can see that, and pull it down. I will, after this stiffens up some more, I will exaggerate that more. But, so I'm just doing it with my finger. So you don't need that tool. It makes it easy for the little guys, but you don't necessarily need it. I'll do the same thing where I adjust this. I can also, I have more real estate down here to kind of force this out more. Okay, you can see why this was trickier. It's a little stressful. All right, the next thing I do, and you can do this with the back of a paintbrush or a dowel. I take this, it's probably, let's see, do I have a ruler close? It is a 1/2 inch in diameter dowel. And I do this, whoops, see, might be too wet for this. Well, and what this does is it compresses that seam even more, but it also gives a fun place for the glaze. I'll show you the one I did that's pretty much bone dry right now. This is actually too wet to do this too. I'm probably creating more cleanup for myself. So we'll go ahead and get it done. But what I like is that it does give, it takes out this straight blunt line. I don't have any blunt lines on this tree because I, pushed it out. And it will also, the glaze that I plan to use does these great things when it settles in places like this. It's just another decorative element. See, and by moving the tree, I'm messing up my skirt, but I'll show you one that's done because I'll have to come back when this is stiffened up. And you know what? I actually let this clay stiffen up before I put it together, but obviously not enough. Maybe hold your bows while you do this so they don't collapse on you. All right. So I'm going to set this one aside and address it later. And I'll pull the one that's done over here. As you can see, they're all over here. You don't have to put the holes in them, but you can see how it's pushed out. And this is the exact same size. It's already shrank, but I've done the dowel. I don't know what you call that. I'm sure there's a name for what I just did. Anyway, I think with the texture and even with the lights, I think you could put a tea light under it or like fairy lights, or you could even wire it and make it a lamp. This one I've had under plastic, so there is 5 on this one, and it's actually super, super cool on the top. Still have my little clay bits coming out of it. But let me see if I can see. So this one was a little bit more challenging. And believe it or not, this was the first one I tried. And it's like, I gotta make this easier. But I really like the way this looks. And I think together, like on a table, if you had a setup, I think it'd look really cool. This one was done with the second size cookie cutter on this set. And I really like, I haven't done a small one, but I think these guys as a set of 3 on your table and would look really cute. And if you put holes in them, then you could put lights in them, you can illuminate them, which would be adorable. It's just, or I think they just look adorable just the way they are without anything, especially if you're doing any like gingerbread houses or any type of decor like that. So yeah, if you're doing any type of, having it next to a gingerbread house or doing any type of decor, or even, I think they'd look great like in some sort of Christmas floral arrangement. If you had a low table, centerpiece type of thing and you wanted these, I think they'd be great all white, or if you did them all green, or if you did them green and white, I think they'd be super cute. I think they turned out adorable. And I love trees, so it works for me. And I think they would be a really good seller at the market, and they didn't take me a ton of time to do. So you saw how fast I made that. Yeah, I had to roll out clay and roll in texture that you didn't see me do this time, but you got a whole sheet, you make a whole bunch, and you just go to work. And I've got more on the shelf. I guess only one more on the shelf. That's pretty much, it's almost bone dry. But I think they're just adorable. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Gotta get to glazing. I got people showing up here soon. So we will catch you in the next video, and until then, go get muddy and have a great day.